Let me guess, you're scrolling through social media, seeing people your age, buying houses, driving nice cars, posting beach photos, and you're thinking, am I already behind? Here's the thing. Your brain is comparing itself to curated financial hallucinations. Because nobody posts their credit card debt, student loans, overdraft mornings, declined Apple Pay moments, or the my rent is due in 2 days and I'm sweating panic. So before you panic about wealth timelines, let's talk about what wealth actually looks like at 25, 35, and 45, mathematically, psychologically, and realistically. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time analyzing how money grows through decades. If you want to actually understand the time-based math of net worth, subscribe and like this video. It helps you, it helps me, and it helps stop financial delusion. Challenge the belief. Everybody thinks wealth happens fast. They think a viral business, a crypto pump, a single lucky investment, a magical salary increase. But wealth doesn't behave like a lottery ticket. Wealth behaves like gravity, weak early, unstoppable later. You want to see that in real numbers? Let's go decade by decade. Wealth at age 25, financial infancy. The average 25-year-old in America has a net worth around $28,000, and most of that is in cars, not assets. But averages betray the truth, because at 25, you may have student debt, you probably rent, income is still small, your investment years are young. Here's what most 25-year-olds don't realize. If all you do from 25 to 30 is invest $300 a month at 7%, by 45, you will have around $180,000 from 5 small years of effort. Not $3,000 a month, not $1,000 a month, just $300. Because when you start in your 20s, time does 80% of the work. At 25, your biggest financial win isn't income, it's building a system. Systems are boring. Automating deposits, dollar cost averaging, staying invested, not FOMO trading. But boring builds wealth. Discipline builds wealth. Contribution builds wealth. Nobody claps for a boring Roth IRA, but the Roth IRA will clap for you later. Wealth at age 35, the reality check. Now let's talk 35, where money anxiety peaks. Around 35, you may have kids, mortgage pressure hits, career stalls feel terrifying, expenses explode, lifestyle creep turns normal. And here's a brutal stat. The median net worth at 35 is only about $61,000. That's it. Not 6 figures sitting in an index fund. Not FU money. Just $61,000. Most of that is trapped in a house you can't sell without consequences. And here's what most people get wrong. At 35, wealth is no longer a choice. It becomes a psychological battle. You're torn between your future, your kid's present, your partner's expectations, social comparison, fear of missing out. But here's where the math gets crazy. If you start at 35 and invest $1,000 a month at 7% until age 65, you still end with around $1.2 million. 30 years of contribution, boring, consistent, unfancy, beats the majority of flashy entrepreneurs you see on Instagram. The trick at 35 isn't perfection, it's resuming. Everyone falls off. Winners resume. Wealth at age 45, the break or build decade. 45 is where financial separation becomes brutal. You either own appreciating assets or own depreciating liabilities. There's no middle anymore. The median net worth at 45 is about $168,000, and most of it is in home equity, not liquid wealth. Here's the issue. By 45, most people have high expenses, kids entering college, no cash flow strategy, panic investing, zero liquidity, zero compounding runway. But here's what most people don't realize. At 45, you still have 20 years of compounding left. 20 years. If a 45-year-old invests $2,000 a month at 7%, they can reach $1.05 million by 65. Even starting late prints wealth if you scale deposits. Late wealth isn't about youth. Late wealth is about density. Age-based psychology. 25-year-old psychology. I'm young, I'll worry later. This kills decades. 35-year-old psychology. I'm behind, it's too late. This kills momentum. 45-year-old psychology. I'm scared to risk anything. This kills compounding. The biggest enemy isn't the S&P 500. It isn't taxes. It isn't inflation. It's emotional hesitation. Objections? Nick, I can't invest right now. Okay, but can you automate $50 a week? Because that's $2,600 per year, and that compounds. Nick, what if the market crashes? It will. And after every crash in history, the market reached a new high. Nick, I want passive income now. Passive income is the last stage, not the starting line. Wealth is built in reverse order. Cash flow discipline, liquid savings, investing engine, passive income. You don't skip to stage 4. The timeline of money. Here's the simplified breakdown. 25 to 35 equals contribution decade. Build systems. Automate. Learn risk. Don't chase trends. 35 to 45 equals scaling decade. Increase contribution density. Reduce liabilities. Max retirement plans. 45 to 55 equals harvest positioning. Protect principal. Prioritize liquidity. Build income streams. 55 to 65 equals conversion decade. Turn assets into income. Money has stages. You can't skip stages. The multiplier insight. The richest people don't beat you by intelligence, genetics, timing. They beat you by consistency. $300 a month for decades crushes $3,000 occasionally. Wealth isn't sexy, it's repetitive. Final wake-up call. The average person thinks wealth is, when I make more, I'll invest. But the truth is, when you invest, you make more. Income doesn't create wealth. Allocation creates wealth. You don't need to be perfect. You need to begin, or resume, or scale. Call to action. If this helped you, drop a like, subscribe to Arun Grows, comment your age and investing goal, and stop comparing timelines, because once you understand the math of compounding by age, you stop racing against people and start racing against time. And time always wins, unless you use it.